Hello, Sanjay.
Hi Kavita. So I think we should wait for Priyanka.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Sanjay, please continue the class. If Priyanka comes, she will join. She is not answering our calls.
Okay, no issues. We should continue the class. Okay, so Kavita, we will start, and the things which were left is uh, that there is a table type matrix table type, and the next one is the sub reports. Okay, so we'll try to finish these two. Okay.
Okay.
So early in last class we designed these reports, and what we were trying to have, like how to connect parameters, that how to get data using stored procedures, and after that we created a linked reports. So the main difference between linked report and sub report is when you click on any linked report, suppose as we are on this page, so I'm in the preview. Okay, so when I click on this, so the whichever report we have linked to this chart or to some text, that will open, which means we will drill down to that report. Okay, so when we click on it, you will have a new report, which means you will have a different page, the second page. Okay, so but the I'm going back. And what is a sub report? So sub report is accessing another report inside first report. Suppose this report is first one and we are accessing second report, so we can have a sub report over this region. Okay, so in this region we can have a report that will, which means we will insert this report 2 to this area. There will be no like as for now we are going link to the linked report, so that will navigate us to a new page, but we want everything on this page, so we will add a report here in the same in the first report. So that's why we call the second report as a sub report, which means the primary report is this first one, and in the first report we are accessing the second report, and that will be on the same page. Okay, so we will try to create this thing, and one more thing, I will edit the same. So go to this design. Okay, so before this, when we preview the data, here you will get the list of all order IDs, but you can have a summarized view. Okay, so I'm changing this table type, and now we are having a simple table. Okay, and we can change this to matrix view. Matrix view is something like you can have a aggregations. Okay, so let me do it quickly, then it will be easy to understand. I'm deleting this table.
Okay.
Insert, and from that select this matrix table. Okay, and here select this ship country to the rows and order ID, sorry, order ID to this data. Okay, so by default we will have ship country and the sum of the order ID, but we want count of order ID, so right click on it and summarize it by count. Okay, and now quickly preview it what we are trying to have. Earlier we were having a spreadsheet, which means for each order ID we were having a country, but I want to have a country with count of order ID. So first select these things, view report. Okay, so now you got the point, like we were simply we are grouping the count, which means we are having this count from Brazil, this count from Germany, and the same count from the USA. So this kind of table we get through using matrix table.
Okay.
So it is not difficult, simply go back to the design, and there when you right click on it and insert, from that insert you'll have this. So the rows will be like to which axis, which means here we are grouping the data using country. Okay, and the data will be the count of order ID. Okay, you can have some grouping on columns also. So suppose I will have something here. I do not have too much things, but suppose I will select the ship country to the column group also. So what will be the output? Okay, so let's do it. But that will give a very big chart, big table. Come here and have this USA, Germany, view report. Okay, so now we are having groups on the columns as well as on the USA. Okay, so it will be like in column we are having the data on USA, because we selected in design mode, we selected column value as a ship country, and for rows we also selected the same thing. Okay, you can have other things also. Suppose you have year. Okay, so you can select those things over here. Okay, so let's let it be. Let's remove it. You can remove this from here. Delete group. I need to do this again. Oh no. Sorry, my Visual Studio is restarting due to some error.
Okay.
Close the other reports. Report 2 I don't want. 1 I want 1. 2 and 3 and on this also. Okay, so come to this report 1. The report 1 is the one which is having the same. Okay, so we are on the last step. So this is what I wanted, but I don't want this, or let it be. Okay. So the next thing which we will introduce is the sub report. So how to have sub report here. Okay, so before that I will disable this linked report here. It is not required, but I'm just or let it be. Okay, so right click on any area or click on insert. Okay, there you will have this option, sub report. Okay, so click on it. It will give you a space like to this reason you will have the sub report. Okay, so give some area to it. Okay, and to this area right click and go to this sub report properties. We will define like to this region which report you want to have. Okay, so obviously I will select the second report. Okay, so this report is the one, this one, see, report 2 is the one which we have the linked. Okay, so just select this report 2 and go to this parameters because this report needs a parameter value. Okay, so click add, and from here you will have the list of parameters from the report 2. So select it, and to this parameter which value you want to pass. So select on this. By default you should not select this. Go to this fx button and it will open the expression window, and here we will pass the value from this parameter. Country is the parameter from first report, and we will pass the value from first report to the second report. Click OK. So before this you need to double click, so that then only you will have the expression here. So click OK. Now click OK. Okay, so we have configured this report 2, which means we have a sub report, and that sub report we are feeding this region from report 2. And why we calling it as a sub report? Because we are having in first report. So this first report is the primary, and from this region, and in the first report we are defining this region as a sub report value. Okay, so quickly preview it. What is it? Click view report. Okay, so we are having this metrics table here, and as you know we have defined this area, okay, as a sub report region, and this value is coming from the second report. Okay, you can verify.
Yeah, my question is,
if
you click on that, if you want more details, then it should come in the same report, right? So it's just running like it's putting 2-3 reports in, say, one dashboard or something like that, right?
Yes, obviously we are accessing 3 reports in one report, okay, or 2 report. We are actually having 2 reports in a single page. Okay, so you can design some dashboard on it, like this region from some other report and this region from some other report, or you can edit it. You can modify whatever you want.
Yeah, I thought sub-reports means, you'll have one page. If you want more details, if you click on that. In linking reports, it will open in a different page. In sub-reports, it will open in the same page.
The same page, yes.
But
yes,
now
exactly.
It's running on the same time, right? It doesn't require any double click or anything, right?
Yes, because we are not, we are just passing parameter to this report. If we do not link the parameter to this report, then it will not populate here. because the requirement for this second report is I'm coming to this report. As you can see, for this report 2, we are having a parameter. So to run this report, you need to pass this value. So, and we are calling this report inside from this report 1. And obviously when we call this report, so we need to pass the parameter to this report. Okay, so we did the same thing, like we go to properties pane, and from there we just simply link the parameter, which means this value is for second report, and we are linking like from this first report which value you want to pass it. Okay, so we are just using this FX1 button, and from the parameters we selected this country. Okay, so as you can see, the next thing is like this sub report will not have other countries, which means suppose I have selected this Finland. Okay, so the second report, which means the sub report, will only have the data for Finland only, not for other countries. So this is the thing which I wanted, but here we have already a link thing. Okay, so when you select on this, so we are accessing the same report using this linked report. So when you click on it, you will have a new page. Okay, so we actually accessing the same second report with two methods. One with the linked report and with the sub report. The sub report, you will have the report on the same page, and when you have linked the report to this chart or to the some text value, you can navigate to that page.
Okay.
Okay, so the most of the time you will be having this parameter. While you work in SSRS, you will have these parameters and that stored procedure thing. Okay, so every time you will having this, you will work on this data set, like how to pass the parameter to different data set and how to have a query with parameters. Okay, so you can have more than one parameters. So when you have more than one parameter, then you should have the at the rate value before that parameter name, then it will automatically detect. Okay, so when you go to this parameter, it will automatically detect that inside your query you are having this parameter. Okay.
Okay. So what is the exact difference?
Okay, come on.
Yeah, what is the exact difference between this sub reports and dashboard? Just it will have more features, like you can add multiple things, except that they are same, right? I mean, it seems same for me.
Exactly. The dashboard is a collection of all different things.
Okay.
Okay. So dashboard is a top layer of view. Or if you want a detail, then you will have reports. So you can, SSRS has so many flexibilities, so you can design as per your requirement. But the main thing to learn in this SSRS is how to work with parameters and how to link it and how to define this. When you go to this preview, you will have the same thing, like this one. Okay, so you can have more than one parameter, so they will be listed down here. Okay, so I will give you introduction about the Power BI. There you will have the very good concept about dashboards, as you were talking about it. So let's quick, as I promised to have a quick session on Power BI also, because why I'm talking about this Power BI, because they in MCSE certification, actually MCSE certification is the MSBI thing, okay, but they have included Power BI to the same certification, so you should know about this. It's a self-service business intelligence. Okay, so I will quickly go through it. I'm opening it, so but my system is having low memory, so I will close that Visual Studio. Okay, so let's close this first. So if you are working with dashboards, I think most of the people create dashboard in Excel. And if you are comfortable with Excel dashboarding, then you can easily work with this Power BI.
Okay.
It is taking more time. Close this also. What next? Where's my CPU is having more? Okay. So I will try to access the same database, Northwind database, using this Power BI. Okay. So close this window. Here you will have the same thing like get data. Click on it and click on this, which means to which server you want to connect, what is your data source. So the best thing of this Power BI is like it has so many connectors, which means if you have data, then you can connect this Power BI to that data. As you can see here, it can connect to so many things: CRM, GitHub, or ODBC, Salesforce, Facebook, Active Directory, Google Analytics. So it has almost all sources of data. Okay, so let's go to this SQL. You can also connect to your analysis services. If I select the SQL Server Database Connect, and it will give you the window for server name. So as I'm connecting to the local, so click it. Now it will, when you click OK, it will list down the all database from that server. Okay, so it is listing on the same thing here, and from this Northwind database, I will connect the same order table. Here it will list down the all views and as well as the table. So this icon is representing views, and the table is this order. So select it. Okay, so when you select it, you will have the all columns from this table, but you do not want all columns. So it has a very good thing, like you can edit before loading the data.
Okay.
So click OK. Which means we are creating this data set. We have connected, which means we have a data source. Now we are editing the data, which means we are creating a data set. So you can think like of that. So suppose I want this column with the hold of control. I want order date. I want the same, some more like freight and ship city, and I want country. So select this. And rest thing I don't want, so simply right click on it and you can remove other columns. Okay, so I want this data set, so click close and apply, which means it has a ETL kind of thing. So now it is loading the data, which means now we are loading, we have extracted the data and we have transformed the data, which means we have edited the data and now we are loading it. So it has inbuilt ETL tool. So this part you can call it as a SSIS part. Why I'm telling this, because it's a self-service business intelligence, which means it will have all the things SSIS, AS, and RS. Okay, so what I'm trying to say in AS is like when you go to this relationship view, so it will have the same data diagram. Okay, suppose if you have more than one table, then you will have the list those table also, and you can build the relationship as we did in SSAS tabular. So this thing is very similar to that tabular modeling. Okay, and now you go back to this report, and from here you can have, suppose I want some table, and from that table you want to have this ship order ID. Select this ship city, ship country. I don't want this order date at present. I don't want this order ID 1. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just making a font little big. Okay, so we are having the same thing here. Okay, and you can change the thing like by default it is taking, oh, it's taking count, because the order ID we should take the count. We should not take the sum of that. And suppose I want to have a ship countries, drag it here and make it as a slicer, which means I want to have a data for some France only. So select this, then you will have the same data, which means it will dynamically filter the data. Now you are having the data for France only. So suppose you want data for some more country, so you can have Finland. And if you want to select multiple things with the hold of control, you can select multiple. Okay, and suppose if you want to have some chart to it, you can select it, select the ship country and count of orders. Okay, so you need to adjust these things, like detail will be this. Okay, so now you are having the charts, and the best part of this Power BI is interactivity is by default. Okay, so you do not have to add some interactivity to it, so you can clear this filter. Okay, so now you are having the all data from all countries. So suppose you want to see like from this region, what is this, which means from Germany we are having 122. So when you click on this region, the whole report will bifurcate, which means the whole report will have only data for that Germany only. As you can see, the by simply interacting with this chart, you are having the data, you are dynamically slicing the data. Suppose for this region you want, then you can have. Okay, so in the same way you can design report, but suppose you want to have a page level slicer, so you can select this with the control button, you can select multiple. Okay, so we have selected a report for this 3 countries. Now you can interact with the data, and further you want to have only this 83. So when you click on it, you will have the data for Brazil only. In the same way you can select on this also. Okay, and I will give you some new thing like order date. We can have some line chart also. Select for this. You will access track this order date, and what will be the value? Let it be order date, and for value, let's take the count of order ID. Okay, so we are having the same. Okay, let's make it big. Okay, so you are seeing the data like which region, on which date you are having the orders. Okay, and suppose you when you clear this filter, then you will have a very good line chart. At present, we are having a very garbage thing, but this is, you can have some more interactivity, so you can simply hover to it, and you can add other things also. Okay. And this is the report designing, and there is one more thing that you can design a dashboard. And to design the dashboard, you need to upload your report to this powerbi.com. There only you can design a dashboard. Okay, so the thing which you were talking about, like the first layer will be the dashboard and the second layer will be the report. Okay, so those kind of work you can very easily create inside using this Power BI. And I think this Power BI is 1 year old.
Okay.
I will give you a snap of my working, like we have created some reports. Okay, so you can see I have created some dashboard for our some process. So as you can see, we are having so many pointers here. Okay, so this is the dashboard. Okay, so suppose if you are interested on this chart, okay, so you can click on it, then it will navigate you to the some report, the inner and back layer report. So you, in this, from this report, you can explore the data, which means you can have more views of the data. Okay, so here you can have tables, here you can have all the things which you can do with SSRS. Okay, so suppose when you click on this, then whole report will be highlighted for this reason only.
Okay.
Okay, so it's an interactive dashboard designing. Okay, so why we are talking about it? Because it is a part of MSBI now. And how we verified it? Because in MCSC certification, they have included it with other things.
Okay.
Okay, so they say something with and how to create these kind of dashboards. Simply use this tool. We have a Power BI desktop tool. You can design your report, and when you click on this publish button, it will automatically upload it to this powerbi.com, and then you can share it with others. So it's easy to use, and obviously it's a ad hoc report designing. Okay, so I think we have covered all the parts for MSBI. Okay, and the thing which are left for me is sharing of content. Okay, so I will share all the projects which we have worked on. Okay, so that you can reference it in future. And obviously I haven't yet shared the books, so I think on tomorrow I will share the books. Okay, and the book will be on the same SSRS. I think I have already shared book on SSIS.
Okay.
Okay, so do you have any doubt or some questions you want to ask?
So can we contact you if I have any doubt?
I think for that you should ask the training people. If you have doubt, then I think they can schedule a session. Okay, but for that we need to be on sync. Like the training people will check the availability of both of us. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so if you in future if you have any doubts, then you try to talk with the training people, and they will help you out. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay then. Goodbye.
So we are done, right? For MSBI class.
Yes, exactly. We have covered all the things like SSIS, ES, and in ES we are having two different things, and obviously for the SSRS. So in MSBI we have these three parts, but if you update things, like if we follow the updated ones, okay, so this MSBI has Power BI also. Okay, so the whole environment is related with business intelligence. Okay, so actually what we are doing is business intelligence, which means we are playing with data. Okay, so we are trying to extract information from the data, and it's not easy to extract the data. You need to prepare the data, you need to consolidate the data, you need to have a clean data, and after that you will have a report. Okay, so obviously you can travel back from report to the source, which means suppose you want to have a report on suppose we want a report on HR data. Okay, so you can first find from which source you will have the HR data, and after that you will design a ETL package that will extract the data from HR database. And after that you will on the second point you will decide like which pointers you want to have, like which business view you want to have. So then you will decide you will have SSAs, and there you will prepare the KPIs and other pointers. And after that you have prepared the data, you have analyzed the data. Now you will bring those information to dashboards or some reports. To visualize the data, you will have two tools, that SSRS and this Power BI. Kavita, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. So like I'll practice for a few days. Like I'll ask them to schedule one more session. If I have any doubts, I can ask on that day. But probably within 10 days or 2 weeks, I would prefer that one. So is it okay with you?
Yes, yes, no issues. We can have.
Yeah, sure then.
Okay, but try to contact the first training people. They will guide you like how to proceed. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah,
Okay then. Bye bye.
yeah. Bye. Take care.